Rock and rolling.
We live, boys.
We live, boys. Fuck, this is so exciting.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You two boys.
We have to shake the nerves. It's the first time.
Yes.
Welcome to freaking the Outsiders.
Yes, sir. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Outsiders, man.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious. But yeah, nice to meet you. My name is Julio. I'm actually from Colombia. I studied mechanical and aerospace engineering at UQ.
Yeah, that's
Been in Australia for 5 years, dude, man.
yeah,
Been here
5 years.
for 6 years already.
It's crazy, man. It's gonna be 6 years in July. Yeah, dude, and it's kind of nuts. Yeah, so my name's Alan. I'm from Mozambique. Shout out to my Africans out there. But yeah, so I came here as international students. So that's. Do we want to get into the reason why we're called the Outsiders?
Basically, it came up. I was just literally getting to my room, and then I saw this siders. So if you're from America or like any other country, I'm not sure if they say it in America. Do they say it as siders? Do they?
I honestly wouldn't know, but then yeah, it's a thing here, and yeah, it's basically something we've been, drinking since like first year or whatever, and yeah, it was always a thing. Like whenever we'd have pre-drinks, before a party or anything, like we'd just have these ciders, and so it kind of became our drink of choice. But then,
good memories.
Yeah, man, good times, man. So then we basically, went through that, and it got to a point now where we're like, oh, okay, let's start this thing. And so we didn't know exactly what to call it, but then we wanted to kind of have a story behind it. So it's like,
yeah, I feel I saw meaning in having that cider name, and I was like, oh yeah, Alan, maybe it'd be a good idea if we have like something cider. Alan immediately was like, nah, dude, that is cringy.
I was like,
AF.
Nah, man, I don't want to.
I feel like it gave it a bit of meaning, so that was pretty cool. But then he was like, oh, what if we call it Outsiders?
Yeah.
And that totally related to us.
Yeah.
Like internationals moving to Australia at a really young age. I moved to Australia when I was 17.
Yeah, he was freaking 17. I was freshly 18. So yeah, we came in. So yeah, that's basically the name behind it. Just kind of, relating it back to our drink of choice. And all the memories associated with it, but also the fact that we are, in a sense, outsiders. We came here without really knowing anyone or anything about Australia, and then we kind of got to experience the culture, and it's been cool, man. We've been here, like you said, 6 years almost. So
ideally, we'll try to dive into our experience as international students in Australia. Probably give it, I don't know, maybe you guys give you guys a better idea of what it's like to be in Australia as a foreign, and just give you like maybe tips in, I don't know, how to get a job, how to do well in assignments, how to cope with like this natural stress that is being in uni. So yeah, hopefully you guys can find some value out of this podcast, and at the same time enjoying it as well. I always call Alan, like whenever I'm at work. I work at retail, in retail. I work part-time at Kmart, and whenever I finish work, I always call Alan, and I'm like, hey Alan, do you want to how's life going? What have you been up to? Because he recently moved to Toowoomba. I currently live in Brisbane, so I always give him a call. Hey man, let's catch up, and we always end up having conversation of like 2 hours at least.
Literally, man, 1 hour like plus. So
yeah. So we were like, you know what? Let's actually set up a podcast, and actually let's try to bring up some value, just putting out there for people. Maybe a lot of people maybe can find something out of us having a conversation, and that was the main reason.
We felt like we don't know everything, of course, but we have our own experiences, and just to kind of share those, and hopefully bring some value to whoever needs it or whoever might find some value in it. So yeah,
exactly.
Just a bit of a journey, and hey, we're keen for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. So we were just discussing before that I recently came across this book called The Unfair Advantage. And this book, The Unfair Advantage, explains that there are some advantages that are inherently given to us straight away, but they're not easily bought or easily, easy to achieve. And the book was saying that in order to succeed, there's a balance between fair play and unfair advantages. So, for example, fair play is, when you go and study really hard for a math exam, you work really hard, that is what they call fair play. unfair advantages, for example, would be you being smart.
All right.
And then the book categorizes unfair advantages with this acronym, which is M.I.L.E.S. So M.I.L.E.S stands for money,
Intellect,
yeah, intellect and insight. L is location,
and then E is education, I believe it was, and then S, I think you told me it was
status. Status, yeah. But location is not really location; it's location and luck.
Yeah, okay.
They both together.
Yeah, right.
So it was pretty interesting how this dude called Ashni. Actually, let me actually bring up this dude.
Oh damn, we got the got the receipts.
So yeah, The Unfair Advantage by Ash Ali and Hassan Kua. Pretty sure they're from England. Yeah, and it was pretty interesting how he was describing this unfair advantage, and you would always, like, everyone knows that money is definitely an unfair advantage. If you're born with money, you sort of have a better position. You have a head start in life. But the one that really caught my attention was luck. Like, luck was a factor that it can actually that is an unfair advantage. But it seems a bit unfair to think about luck. Like, how do you actually, like, is that something that you like bring up from yourself? Like, are you naturally lucky? Like, what do you think?
The thing about luck is I feel like it's not really about being naturally lucky. I think, and this is where you can get into all kinds of angles. But honestly, I kind of grew up in a kind of Christian background. When you think about those beliefs, there's a higher power or whatever. Like, and so I feel like that maybe plays a part because you don't really pick who you're born to. Like, that's just one of those things where you just kind of hope you're born to a good family or whatever. And so luck, man, I don't know. I still battle with it today. Like, I don't know if it's, certain people are maybe chosen and have the certain destiny to be lucky, and
at the same time I reckon it's pretty hard to distinguish when someone is actually naturally talented and when someone actually has luck, because like, you see people that they are extremely talented. Like, I knew, like, football players, like people that wanted to be a football player back home, and they were really talented, but they didn't have that exposure to the right people at the right time at the perfect place. Although they really had the talent, it's not just having the talent. Like, naturally, luck is something that you need to have. But
a little bit of that.
I like to think that luck is something that you can manufacture. Like, surely, if you, and actually the book was actually exploring this. You can increase your luck, but meeting more people, for example, getting exposed to more events, putting yourself out there, creating this podcast for sure. Your reach and, like, putting your ideas out there, that increases your luck. So luck is defined as something that is not really this sort of weird skill that is, like, within your like within your being. It's something that you can actually build up, and it's something that you can actually work on.
Based on choices you make, you're saying. Like,
the key word is manufacturable. Luck is something that you can manufacture. So it was pretty interesting. And obviously, another one that really caught my eye was location.
It can kind of influence outcomes, because if you're born maybe in a first world country, there's automatically the perception that there's more opportunities, there's more things that you can do and things that you can get up to. Whereas if you're born in a less developed country, maybe what they call third world, which is where we're from. But anyway,
which is both where
we're both from. But they would say,
I mean, okay,
you're kind of less off. But then I feel like it's not where you're from that makes you go somewhere or whatever. It's like, I feel like it's your mindset in a way, like, and what you want to do, and a bit of all those other things, like the luck, like you said. All that M.I.L.E.S thing plays a part.
I just like to clarify though that when it says location, it doesn't mean where you're from. It's just where you're currently at. So the unfair advantage is where you're currently at. Are we still rolling? Yeah, we're still rolling. We start 14 minutes.
Man, we still going, boys. We ain't going there. We ain't going nowhere. But anyway,
fucking nowhere. Fucking stay in there. I was gonna say though, with this, going back to this location thing, they, like, with the location, like, aspects, the clear example that the book gives is, for example, if your dream is to be an actor, for instance, if you want to be an actor, it's obviously a better advantage if you so happen to live in Hollywood. If you want to be the perfect ice skater, it wouldn't really help if you're in Hawaii, for example.
Okay.
So that's what it refers to, the unfair advantage. So, and it got me to think the other day, is there an unfair advantage of us being in Brisbane? What is the unfair advantage of us being in Brisbane?
Man,
what does Brisbane have compared to like the other cities in Australia, like Sydney, Melbourne, like big cities?
What makes Brisbane different is probably, in my case, what I would say is just the amount of, like, when we talk about people we've met, like, just the amount of people I've been able to meet here and through the university journey. Yeah, that's why we came here. Like, you know, just, it was initially just a studying thing. We just came to get our education, but then just being and going through that, like, I met people from literally every continent. So that's already one thing.
That's a big win.
And you start to realize that when you graduate, everyone does their own path. You know, people do their own things. Some might be going back home. Some might decide to stay here, get, you know, job opportunities here, which a lot of people also do before they go back home, or before they even, you know, who knows what happens. You know, they might even decide to live in Australia. But so that's what it is. Like, it's just about that meeting people aspect. Like, socially, coming here is a beautiful thing because you just get exposed to so many cultures, man. Like, and that becomes meaningful because now, you know, we all graduate, we all go home. We can one day visit each other now. You know, visit each other in our countries, for example. And so it basically gives you that's like an advantage right there.
More chances of doing stuff at different places.
More chances of doing stuff at different places. More chances of seeing different places and kind of getting exposed to the world, like travel, job wise. Getting a job in Australia is good. Like, whatever you want to do.
I was having a conversation with my brother the other day, and I was thinking, what are the advantages that Brisbane has over Sydney and Melbourne? And I could think of 4. Cost of living. If you live in if you live in Sydney, you're lucky if you find a rental place for $210, $220 even, with furniture, bills, and everything included. Same with Melbourne. Doesn't matter if you try to apply that strategy of moving away from the CBD. That doesn't really work most of the time, because the prices still remain really high. And even with the pandemic, you'll find that like the surrounding areas still remain with that price, although there's less people moving in from overseas into the houses. So they still remain as what I'm trying to say is they still remain as the most expensive cities in Australia. So cost of living is definitely higher. I was also thinking in how much value you can get for entertainment. So in restaurants in Melbourne and Sydney, you can be, you know, like looking at the Opera House and everything. But I feel like in Brisbane you have way more natural, like you would have an experience that Immanuel Kant is a German philosopher, and he was saying that we find way more satisfaction out of something that is sublime rather than pretty. So
what's that?
Sublime rather than pretty. So the sublime, so the pretty is always small. The sublime is always that is big. Sublime is nature. Pretty is a really weird concept to get around. But he essentially tries to say that there are experiences when you experience something that is sublime, the satisfaction that you get out of it is way much more when you see something that is pretty. And he tries to categorize what is pretty and what is sublime. And that's all those are the immediate examples that I can think of out of nature and civilization. So that means is that, for example, if you're in New York and you see all the buildings, according to Immanuel Kant, if you see Mount Everest, you get a satisfaction way more compared to New York.
So compared to seeing the structures,
compared to seeing
the landscape,
exactly, because it's natural. Like you always like, how many times you go like walking around the road and you see, wow, like those flowers are so pretty, and you just literally stop to take pictures of the flowers. Or even animals, like if you're walking and then you see this dog, and I can guarantee you, at that point, you completely forget about the rest of the world and you're just thinking about that dog. So Immanuel Kant makes a reference to natural things as being like sublime and not pretty. So, and the reason I'm saying that is because you get more benefit out of having those experiences that you can, that in my personal experience you can find in Brisbane compared to Melbourne and Sydney, in the sense that everyone knows that the best beaches in Australia are in the east side, like at least in that area of Australia.
Okay.
You can go to the Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, like Noosa, like Darwin, Townsville, all these places. They all have really, really, like have a lot of activities that you can get really involved in, and like they give you this experience that this philosopher was saying. I just brought that up because I felt like let's just bring it up. But actually the very last one, and it links to what you were saying just before about meeting up with people. Meeting up with people is the unfair advantage, and like I can say for sure, and I can guarantee this, and I'll try to bring up a fact, that Brisbane has that unfair advantage that Melbourne and Sydney doesn't have, and is this one. Brisbane, compared to the other cities, has the largest, and this is a statistical fact, Brisbane, compared to the other cities, has the largest interstate migration. That means that from Queensland, a lot of people move from Brisbane. In New South Wales, not many people move from to Sydney, and in Victoria, not many people move from Melbourne. What that means is that you're more likely to find people in Brisbane in situations where they need to find rent, they're looking for a job, they're looking for uni, and that is exactly the same position that you're in as an international student. Am I right?
Yeah, especially, that's the reason most international students come here. It's either they're trying to get a lot of people. You see a lot of people, they're studying English, or they're trying to get their degree, of all kinds of categories. They might be trying to get their bachelor's, their master's, whatever it is. So international students have that, thing to them, where they might even.
There's a tendency to link up with the people that you relate to.
That's obviously, and that's across a lot of different borders.
Exactly.
Like a wide spectrum.
And what I personally think is that that is the key difference that Brisbane has over Sydney and Melbourne. That there's more people in the same situation that you're in, therefore, and I mean, this might not always apply, but is therefore that you're much more able to make friends, and therefore you're much more likely to get a job, because locals are the people that know where the good jobs are. Locals are the ones that know how to be in that work environment, because they obviously control the language. At the end, I found that in overall, friends are the ones that will get you to where you want to be. The more people you know, the higher chances you can get at this thing called luck out of unfair advantages.
Yeah, man, that's what they say, man. They say, the old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And a lot of times it sounds cheesy or whatever, but it really does make a difference. Like, because literally, man, that's the whole reason why a lot of folks, or how a lot of folks get their jobs. Like, they know the right people, they kind of join the networking events, do all these things, and then they end up meeting like people that way, like necessary connections to get a job or whatever it is. It's not necessarily.
That's how you got your job.
That's how I got my job. Like, I went into certain mentorship programs during uni. I studied architecture, by the way, for all the folks out there that don't know. So yeah, I did all that, and then went into networking events, then got into a mentorship program. And in that mentorship program, I was just kind of, learning from an architect that already had his own firm, and he was like a small architect. Like, it was literally just him.
When you graduated, did you jump straight into getting a job? How long it took you to get a job after you graduated? Yeah,
that's what I'll lead to that. But so throughout uni, I was just doing the freaking networking events first. So I was just like, that was the starting point, and then did the mentorship program. And from the mentorship, that's when I kind of developed a bond with the mentor, which, he was an architect already. And so that was in 30, was it? Yeah, it might have been second. I feel like it was third year. Yeah, when I did that. And then after that, I graduated. And then once I graduated, in 2020. Like, yeah, I graduated in 2020, man. What a year that was. But anyway, graduated 2020, freaking June. And then was looking for a job, man. So I was applying the whole time. And I didn't get anything, bro. Like, just to be honest, like, you get all those politically correct emails like, oh, yeah, we'll get back to you, but they don't get back to you. So,
yeah. 5 applications a day, boys.
Yeah, 5 applications a day, boy.
So, just to give a bit of background, Alan and I moved in together last year. And that was about that, like, when you graduated from uni and when you were applying for jobs.
Yeah. And
Alan, I remember at the time, he lived in the second floor. So it was a 3-level house, and I lived in the very bottom floor, the cheap floor. The cheap floor, I was paying really cheap rent, and then he was in the second level. And as I would go up to go to the kitchen, like just to eat something after finishing an assignment, I would always see Alan in his room, on his laptop, looking for jobs like crazy. Yep. And he would always be like, "Hey man, 5 applications a day." Yeah. 5 applications a day non-stop.
Yeah, okay.
So. Yeah, 5 applications, man, and that's exactly what I'm doing as well, because I'm looking for a job. You know?
Yeah, he's doing his thing, and so that was the thing, man. I was just doing 5 applications a day, and got to the point, you know, rejection letter, and then I was like, okay, let me know. It clicked in my head that, damn, I did a mentorship program. Let me actually talk to my mentor, see if he has, you know, job opportunities and stuff.
That was after how long of you?
That was probably after.
How long it passed since you last spoke to your mentor?
Man, it'd been a while, man, because I finished off in, you know, 2019, like the end of 2019. Until then, it was like, oh, okay. We basically didn't see each other anymore. So it's that thing of like, oh, okay, thank you for everything. Thanks for the experience, but now we go our own way. So I didn't really talk to him that much until, freaking, at that point when I kind of clicked, like, oh, let me talk to him, see what he's up to. So he literally told me,
give me a head.
Yeah, like, hey bro, what's happening? Yeah, I graduated, but I'm unemployed too. So yeah, so yeah, I freaking did it. And then he told me, oh, yeah, you're looking for a job? Oh, I actually have a friend that's looking for someone to hire, like a recent graduate. And I was like, holy snap.
These people are always willing to give you a hand.
Yeah, dude.
It's a bit surprising, like what goes through their heads. Through their minds, Spanish correction. Through their minds when they think about like getting into mentorship, like they just want to do it because they just want to help people out, right?
Man, honestly, yeah, I look at it like that. Like probably just want to help people out, maybe find, you know, potential talent that they can hire one day, something like that. Like who knows the reasons why they do it, but I'd say initially, yeah, it comes from a sense of, let me guide this person, let me try to help them out, and see how that goes. So yeah, man, that was that. Yeah. But then 2020 being the year it was, I lost my job freaking 3 months later. 2020 hit the business pretty bad, and they had to kind of say goodbye to the newly hired people. So it got rid of me, got rid of this other chick that got hired at the same time. But that was the beginning of it, like of my short-lived, career with them. But then I was like pretty damn demotivated, man. I was like, dang, I just got the job. I was all excited, then I freaking lost it, man.
I remember at the time I really felt bad for you because you were generally putting all the effort. Like, I'm a really big fan of this guy on YouTube called Ali Abdal, and he always says that when it comes to getting stuff like this, like jobs or like, like getting better at something or anything in life, sometimes quantity is better than quality. And you were most definitely putting all the quantity there. Because the more stuff that you put out there, the more likely you get, like the better you get at it.
More likely someone will say yes. Like,
exactly. And you would put in 5 applications a day.
Yeah, literally. Yep.
Every single day. Like, I can't go out because I'm on my 4th application.
Yeah. Yep.
It's my 5th application. So that's I was definitely respecting that. I personally, 2020 was probably it was a really good year for me in terms of getting work.
Yeah.
At the time, I was looking for an internship because in at UQ in the University of Queensland, I studied in the University of Queensland.
Shout out UQ.
# sponsor UQ.
Yeah. Sponsors, hey, we started a podcast anyway.
Video 1 already with sponsors. Holy shit, the dream.
Yeah, man, we're doing our thing.
They require us to have a certain number of hours before you graduate as a mechanical and aerospace engineer. And how the fuck do you get hours if you're like in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah,
it was obviously really impossible. But then I met this guy. He was a Japanese professor in metallurgy, and I literally showed up to his office. I was like, "Hey man, hey.
What's going on?"
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, my name is Fuller." Like I saw they had advertised something on the website, and I was like, "Hey man, like I really want to work for the research that you're doing. I really feel passionate about all this hard work that you're putting in." And I have all the experience in this world to do it. I'm the best. And then sure, absolutely. Like I sent him an email, right? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Just bring up your transcript, and then we'll see what. He didn't say we'll see what happens, but in my mind that was like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Yeah.
And then I was like,
like transcript.
If people know me, they would know that I'm not the perfect straight. Like I'm not a straight A. Like I'm not a straight A student. But I would always put in effort to just pass. You know, like I just wanted to pass, especially because I worked part time at Kmart.
Yeah.
And I needed to have this balance between work and uni.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, I just want to pass. I don't want anything else.
Yeah. Same, man. A lot of times that was me as well. Just trying to get through it, bro. Literally just surviving. Like
at some point I was like, you know, I just want to pass. And then my supervisor was like, oh damn. So I was like, oh, okay, sorry. So in my head I was like, oh, he's gonna look at my grades. I was passing everything. I didn't fail anything.
Yep.
I was actually expecting him being like, oh, but like what happened here in materials, or like why did you get a 4 in materials from a scale from 0 to 7?
Yeah.
Why do you get a 4 in materials, or why do you get a this and all?
What happened over here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he didn't give a single fuck about my grades. He literally saw my drive to get the work done, or like get the like, and I knew about the subject. Yeah. Like it's not like I didn't prepare when I wanted to talk to him. I did prepare, and then came out to him, and he's like, and I was like, hey, I really need the work experience. I need to be somewhere to get my hours done. Can you give me a hand with this? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he paid the whole internship for 6 months. He was paying. Yeah. I mean, not to brag or anything, but I know a lot of people like will find value out of that. I was getting $44 an hour.
Yeah.
Is it $44 an hour? It was $44 an hour or $60 an hour. It was something like that, because I was a part-time research assistant.
Yeah.
And it was only for 3 months, and then he extended the contract for 6 months.
All right.
So I was doing that for a long period of time, and the crazy thing is, my supervisor was loaded.
Okay, yeah,
like uni wasn't paying me. My supervisor was paying me off from his pocket.
Yeah, heck yeah. Ooh.
And he was this dude that he had a patent in this. For people that are interested, I'm just gonna say.
Hey, gotta break it down.
Yeah, people that are interested. The research was like he got a patent out of analyzing alloys for hydrogen transportation. So you would normally think of transporting hydrogen. I'm gonna say it super briefly. I don't want to sound like that nerd.
Yeah, nerd talk.
I don't want to be that guy, but so he got a patent out of finding better ways to transport hydrogen as a solid than a gas, because apparently it turns out that you can actually transport way more hydrogen as a solid rather than a gas. Right. And he was like, okay, well, magnesium nickel seems to be a really good alloy to use and transport hydrogen. I got this data. It seems that it can work. Let me patent it. Let me get a patent for this. He got a patent for that, and then I was investigating magnesium silicon, and that's where the project was.
All right.
So in overall, 2020 was really good in terms of work, and surprisingly, everything shut down, but the labs were open the whole time. These PhD students work all the time too.
Damn. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
They never sleep, and uni was like, I don't know. I couldn't care less if the virus is going on. We're still doing our research. We're still getting our stuff done.
We're still doing our thing. Yeah.
And that's when I jumped in and then got that opportunity. But I guess I'm in the and I'm sure a lot of people might be in the same phase as me, that they're looking for jobs.
Man, it's so common, bro. Like they say, average time could be up to 6 months. You know, as kind of messed up as that may sound, it's just the thing. That's what it is. You know, it's just that phase, that in between phase where you're looking for your opportunity. So you gotta do the 5 applications a day or whatever works for you, but you just gotta keep it consistent. Like, just keep doing it, and eventually something comes up. So I think it's pretty common, bro. Like, people are in that sort of situation a lot, like just looking for a job, and so there's always that in between before you find one. But yeah, it's part of the process.
Yeah, and it's like it's been pretty difficult. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because it gives me the impression. I mean, everyone knows that there's a preference for locals. Obviously, locals are obviously the number one people that get. They get a job, and that's it. And I'm perfectly fine with it. It's completely understandable, and I'm not here crying because I'm not local and like whatever. So, just putting in the work and see if I can get a job. I graduated in December 2020, and it's already it's been like 4 months, 5 months. But I'm not staying still. Like, I see this an opportunity for me to get involved in many more things. Like this podcast. For how long we've been talking about getting this podcast?
Man, it's crazy, man. It just all started as an idea. Like, I remember telling Julio about, an idea I had where I was like, oh man, we know so many people, like, we've met a lot of international people. How cool would it be to like do a podcast that revolved around that, like telling our stories and kind of sharing where we've been and how we've been finding our time in Australia. And it's just one of those ideas where you're just like, oh yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But then it never really turned into anything.
It's better said than done.
Yeah. Easier said than done, man. But then
easier said than done. I always fuck up this.
We can't English, guys.
This says I always fuck up this says.
We know hablo, so
we know habla español.
We know hablo English, so sorry,
no
guys.
English.
Yeah, but so the thing is, man, that was the thing. It was just very an idea based. It was like, yeah, man, this would be cool, but we never did anything about it. Uni. That was the excuse back then, uni assignments, so we never really found the time. But then I remember this year in particular, like this time the roles were flipped. Now you were telling me about a course that you found on how to do the YouTube videos and how to start your channel, how to grow your channel. And like you were now showing the interest, where in the beginning I was the one presenting the idea, but now you actually. And I sensed the fire that you had.
Yeah, exactly. Action.
Because you were like, man, I'm starting this course. I'm paying for it, and I'm paying for
get it done.
And I'm paying for equipment. So and like I remember coming to your house, bro, and seeing the packages come in. Like he had some packages, like boxes and everything. And I said, how you open the boxes.
All this shit, like all the things that you see. Costs money, dude. And like, and I'm not rich.
Don't grow on trees,
no one's rich here.
Yeah,
so
we were eating noodles, bro.
Been eating cereal for dinner for the past 5 years.
Cereal and milk, bro. What you know about cereal and milk?
I can name every single cereal in Coles and Woolies.
Every single color in the Fruity Loops. Hey, we know all those things, man. So
yeah, we're really we always try to save up money.
Yeah,
we always try to save up money. So. But I was like, okay, I need to do this. I was like, I need to take a leap of faith and absolutely do it. So I ended up paying for this course with Ali Abdal. And then I was like, okay, if I see that I have money put into it, and I see people that are working into it, I would immediately have a drive to put like my content out and like getting into the camera and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I already paid. The course was like $1,240 or something.
Yeah.
Australian dollars, by the way.
Yes. Aussie, shut up. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah. So after seeing like all these people working on their channels and everything, I was like, let's just get it done and do it.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And that was the thing, man. So I saw the packages, I saw you opening the boxes. I'm like, okay, I see a interface in there, so a microphone, audio interface, and all that. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I see another box, and I see the light, and I'm like, wow, like.
The freaking interface. I'm gonna show them the interface.
Yeah, man. I was, you got the interface right there.
Solo interface.
Shout out. Yeah, Focusrite. I got the same one as well.
We'll obviously try to put a link in the description if you guys are interested.
Yeah, I'll put the link in there.
And what I got, if people are like us, like just getting started in something, I'll show you what I end up getting to just get this whole setup.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can give you a hand whatever you plan to get for you.
Yeah, man. Show you the equipment, everything, you know.
Yeah, you were saying?
So I was just saying that, you know, that really inspired me, man, because in the moment where, sorry guys, but in the moment where you kind of opened up all the boxes and set everything up, I saw the lights, I saw the microphone, I saw the setup, I was like, man, this guy's serious, bro. So, man, that just motivated me at a whole other level. I was like, bro, this is something I used to talk about. Let me put some action in it as well, like he's putting in action. So I remember like a week later, I was like, man, I bought a camera.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I bought a camera, I bought a freaking tripod, because, hey.
Guess what I bought?
Yeah.
I remember getting a message from Alan. Guess what I bought?
Yeah. I sent him a picture of the camera.
It's
so
so
hey,
random.
So that was very much, and he was like, man, that was pretty impulsive, but alright.
No, yeah, it was pretty impulsive. No, but it's good. Like this is exactly, if you ever want to accomplish something, like if you want to get an assignment done, if you want to get like apply for jobs or anything, you need to have an like what Ali Abdal calls an accountability buddy.
Yep.
When you see people that are working in the same thing as you are, you get that spark to do it, and you'll do it straight away. You would communicate the problems with that person, and then you like you just simply get the stuff done straight away. Like it's because you're not alone anymore.
Yeah.
You're not alone anymore.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Like, you have people doing what you're doing, it motivates you to keep going, and that's in everything, man. Like, it started early, man. It started from uni. Like, the friends we had, you know, everyone was working on assignments. So the way to deal with it was we would study together. So it's like, oh, we're all working on the same assignments together. So we motivate each other. Like, oh man, this assignment's, man, it's trash, man. You know, I'm just going through the, you know, stress of it. But everyone else is going through that stress, so you feel like you're not alone, and you feel like you can push through because you're not doing it by yourself. Everyone else is in the same boat. So it's good to have someone that also has the same drive to do what you want to do. In that way, yeah, you make yourselves better. So, yeah,
that is key. And what an amazing thing to do with you, man. Because I've done it. Like, we've known each other for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, if you know us, the dynamic duo.
Yes, sir.
Dynamic duo. For some reason, I just clicked with Alan when I met him in 2015. 2015.
Yeah, like September.
We did grade 12. I always say we did grade 12 in Australia.
Yep. Yeah, it was basically a bridging course before uni.
Exactly, yeah. But it was mostly for international students.
Yep.
And in Australia, of course, like the majority of international students will normally come from Asia.
Yep.
And I'm from South America. Alan is from Africa.
Yes, sir.
So, it was really, it was really nice to see someone. I mean, I don't know, like I don't want to say someone that was not Asian, but like someone that I would somehow could relate to based on where I would come from.
Yeah, and it was a thing because of the language as well. Like, Portuguese and Spanish is very similar in a lot of ways. So when I heard that, oh man, this dude speaks Spanish, pretty freaking cool, man. Maybe I could learn some things. And you share the same words for certain things and certain meanings. So hey, it was just pretty cool, man, the way it all happened. And yeah, we met up, and I was, you know, doing kind of getting involved with the school. I didn't just want to be a student, so I got involved. So I joined the student council.
Yeah.
Nerd talk, but anyway, I did it. Joined the student council, and
no, but I'm pretty sure not really nerd talk. Like if you joined the student council, it's because you wanted to meet people.
Yeah, it was more a social thing as well, because didn't know anybody out here, so just trying to make the connections. And I remember you guys came in September, because there was different group intakes. Like, I came in July, you came in September, and so I was like, oh, I just heard from the principal, the new September group is coming. Like, let's make them feel welcome. Let's, you know, meet them at the door and say hi. I said hi to everybody, and that's when I saw you. I was like, oh, this dude seems pretty cool, man, from Colombia. Heck yeah. And I think you're probably the first Colombian I had met at that point. Yeah.
But not the first South American.
Not the first South American, because I had met people from Ecuador.
The Ecuadorian guys.
Before that. But yeah, definitely the first Colombian.
By the way, how different do you think my English was back then compared to now?
Man, you were like 100% Latin, man. Like, a definition of Colombian, man.
I have voice recordings. I've sent voice notes to people. And I would compare myself, like, the way I sounded back then, how I sound now is a completely different thing.
Yeah, nah, it's different, man. And that's what that comes with being the location thing we talked about as well.
I know it, right?
Full circle, boys. So
you have to listen to us. Like, we've been here for 5 years.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, like, it's a thing. We've lived here for 5 years, 6 years. Like, just listen to this. I can guarantee you, it'll change your life. Location it's important. Location is something. Look, like the miles. Just remember miles.
Yeah, miles, bro.
Miles.
Gotta run the miles, boys. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's the thing, because so that's how it all started, man. And here we are now, 6 years later, almost. Made the idea more than just an idea, and we're actually trying it out. So hey, we'll see where it goes. Experiments, having fun with it. So
yeah, dude, absolutely. What do you think? It's been 4 minutes. We got this window saying something about not saving up. I don't know what that means.
Oh no, that's about some other software. It's not related.
It'll be, I think, combined. We have like an hour already of content, and I'm pretty sure you can edit. We have like at least 40-30 minutes of content already.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea to just wrap it up then.
Yeah, we can stop it there.
Really good experience. Really good experience. I really enjoyed it. Like, it's...
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Yeah. I mean, could maybe say goodbye to the people or something.
Yeah.
Somehow. Or you don't want to...
Well, yeah. If you like this podcast, obviously, make sure to like and subscribe, turn the notifications on.
Yes, sir.
We are the Outsiders, and
we're the Outsiders, boys.
Share if you like this. If you think that this piece of content might be useful to someone moving to a different country. I know that in the virus, this is not the perfect, perfect timing to do that. But this is not going to be here forever. So if you think that this might be useful to someone else, if you like this podcast, please share it. It will give us a huge unfair advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it will help us out, and hopefully it can go to someone that finds value in it. Someone might be starting their first year here as an international. They don't really know what to expect or what to what to kind of go through, and we'll kind of just try to give our experience and what helped us, and so we'll be able to see if whatever we could suggest can help someone else. Yeah, that'll be pretty awesome. So
if you have suggestions as well of like what we should discuss, or like what would you guys like to know, send us a message and we'll obviously put that out for sure.
Yeah, let us know, guys. We're open to it, open to any ideas. Hey, we might even come up with new videos based on those ideas. So
sick.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, guys.
All right, catch you guys later.
Yes, see ya.